What's up, y'all? Just happy to be here, and I know a lot of y'all come a long way to do this too. So thank you all for being here.
Okay, we'll go right here on the. Okay, third row.
JT, do you feel like you're the best quarterback in the SEC coming back?
It's something I don't really think about, if I had to say honestly. I think there's a lot of great quarterbacks, a lot of great players in the SEC. It's probably one of the first things I learned since I got here is like, I don't care if you're a third stringer in the SEC. If you're playing football in this conference, you're a really good player. I haven't taken the time to compare myself to other guys, and I think it's too difficult to. If you're not on that team and you don't know their system and their scheme, you don't really know how good that quarterback is or how good their receiver is.
JT, to your left, third row.
Coach Smart was just saying that you're a big-time film guy in the offseason. Have you had a chance to break down Clemson's defense a little bit? And what does a game of that magnitude do during fall camp to kind of get you guys focused and ready, knowing that you're getting ready to face a top-5 team right out of the gate?
So you definitely do. I've been looking at it. I'll be looking at it specifically when that time comes. I follow a strict schedule for a lot of reasons. But in terms of that game being as big as it is, it's a national TV game. It's a 7:30 kickoff. It's a big deal. But I think it's important for us to, as good as Clemson is, to not look at them as any different from any other opponent. It's at the end of the day, we're going there, we're playing football. That's what we do. And there's a lot of really talented, really good football players. I think they have a great coaching staff. They have strong schemes on both sides of the ball. But football is football, and we got to go out and play our game like we would against any other team that will play for the rest of the season after that.
Front row, to your right.
JT, when you look ahead to 2021, how exciting is it knowing that it'll be more of a normal season, playing in front of full stadiums again in the SEC, as opposed to last year where you were quarter full most of the time?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm most excited for, honestly. I've never experienced a dog walk, and they said 30,000 people go there. I've never seen that before. I think the closest was when we played away at Texas my freshman year. That was pretty packed. But I've never played in the environment where it's it was ridiculous last year for me to see, even at 25%, when the fourth quarter hits and we do all the red lights and all that stuff. People go crazy at those games. It's awesome to see, and I haven't got to see it full capacity yet, so I can't wait.
Okay, we have him for 10 minutes. Any questions? We have a starting quarterback here. Okay, on your right, second row.
What have you seen from a young guy behind you, Carson Beck? He's from Jacksonville, Florida, and he's heading into that second year. Have you seen some progress from him?
A lot, yeah. He's a very good player and a really good person, too. You can say the same thing for really everyone in that quarterback room. From when I've got here to where Carson is now, there's tremendous improvement, and I personally think he's game ready. From all of our other quarterbacks. Stetson has a lot of game experience. Brock's really good. Carson's really good. All of them can step in and play football. So there's no concerns from the quarterback room of, who's going to be ready and who needs to play. I think there's a lot of guys, and Carson especially, that are ready to play ball.
To your left, on the fourth row.
JT, in the other room, Coach Smart was just talking about your relationship with Todd Monken. How did that come together so quickly, and what do you like so far about him?
We just both see the game really similar, I'd say. I think I met him, or the first time I talked to him was on Zooms for 2 months, or a month and a half, until I actually went to Georgia. They talked to me as soon as I hit the portal. And then Monk and I just had, I wasn't doing anything at home. He wasn't doing anything at home. So he took me through a bunch of the offense and, what they were doing schematically, and we just see the game very similarly.
To your left on the third row.
JT, you said you have a routine that you keep pretty strict. So you're watching film at home or in the bed? Is iPad? How does this work? How does that walk me through that?
You want the specific schedule or just where I do it?
How you do it? Yeah.
In the quarterback room, we have a quarterback room that's damn near the quarterback player's office at this point. Like Monken uses the staff room in his office more times than not. So like we pretty much have a quarterback war room, I guess. That is like Sunday I'll watch the 3 most recent games against similar offense. Monday, I mean, there's a bunch that goes into the weekly process. But in the quarterback room, we have the whole film server up there.
Front row here.
JT, you haven't had a chance to, personally compete or play for an SEC title yet, but it's something that the program Georgia's kind of been accustomed to recently. So, is that kind of your goal, your mindset for this year? How motivated are you to just compete for a title this year?
I would definitely say it's a goal, and it's obviously something we want. Everybody wants to play for the conference championship and then the national championship. Like everybody wants to do that, but it's not what we're focused on right now. At the time, we're really focused on our core DNA and our values, and we put so much time into the mental structure of this team. I'm really happy with where that's come. I think the biggest focus right now is just week by week, how are we preparing for August 1st? And when August 1st hits, it's how do we prepare for the end of camp? Then once the camp ends, it's how do we prepare for Clemson, then so on and so forth for the rest of the season after that, and we just take it week by week.
Stay on the left side in the back row, please.
Hey, JT, talk a little bit about the weapons that you have around you. You lose Pickens, obviously, but through the portal you get Gilbert, and you also want to have your running game too, because that helps you as well. Talk about balancing out your offense and using all the weapons that you have.
Yeah, as an offense, I think we have the best problem you can have, which is there's only one ball. There's so many guys that you just don't normally have on a roster, where as an offense you have like pretty much every receiver. You have 3 deep at receiver that could all play and are both talented enough and mentally ready to where they could be in the game, and it's no different than your ones. You have a good 2-3 deep at line. You have like 6 running backs that you can go in and play. You have 4 quarterbacks that I would all trust to play. You have so many guys that are football ready that it's something to be said about how the coaching staff develops and how the guys here work.
We'll go to your left, the 4th row.
What do you think the potential of this offense is, and what do you think its biggest strength is going to be this fall?
I'd say the biggest strength is the versatility you have, and I'd say how well we can do simple when we're at our best. There's a lot to be said about having a complex, schematic approach, but at our best, we do simple better than the people we're playing against, and that's the plan. And in terms of versatility, like I just was talking about, there's just so many guys that you can put in so many places that can execute. I'd say that's your biggest strengths from your offense.
2nd row on the left.
JT, I don't know how much you've had time to work with Eric Gilbert, but what are your early impressions of him?
Yeah, that's like the 5th time I've been asked that, and it's the same answer. There's a lot of guys that are really talented that like football, and there's a lot of guys, and there's a select few like Eric that are talented and love football. He spends hours with the receiver and tight end coach. He asks me a bunch of questions. He takes the time to learn the signals, learn what he's got to do, and really learn the game itself. And it's really impressive to see that someone that has what he has by birth, because he has a lot of people just beat by birth, and then he combines that with being a weekend worker, and he's a film watcher, and he likes to learn what he learns. So he's the best of both worlds in terms of your physical and your mental game.
We have time for 2 questions. We'll go here on the 2nd row, and then we'll end on the 3rd row.
JT, your first game of the season is against Clemson. How much of will that set the tone, I guess? One game, can that set the tone for the entire season when you go up against Clemson?
It really should not. Just being the fact that it is just one game. It's your week 1 game. Like, your week 1 game matters no matter who it's against. And ours is against Clemson, like a really good top 5 guaranteed team. A lot of talent on that team, a lot of talent on our team. Like, it's a big matchup, and there's going to be a lot of hype around it. But I think it's really important for both teams' futures to keep perspective and matter that it's the week 1 game. Like, you can lose your week 1 game and have a great season. You can win your week 1 game and have a terrible season. Neither really Like it's just the week 1 game of the regular season. As fun as it's going to be and as exciting as it is to compete against a really good team, it's the week 1 game.
Final question on your left third row.
Hey JT, so going into last season, you were recovering from a torn ACL. So what was your mindset bouncing back from this injury, and how has this affected your mindset going into this season?
So it was difficult. I wasn't ready week 1. I wasn't even cleared week 1. Then after that, there's the whole process of, playing on getting as many reps as I could, whether that was through scout team or whatever it was, just to get reps to, be healthy and game ready. So there was a lot that I had to learn about myself, about the process of, like, you feel like you're ready mentally, but your knee's just not ready, and it's just not working out for you at the time. I think all that really did was it was strong adversity, which I think was important for my personal development and helping me put things in perspective.